fellow Toastmaster and Kumar. So this was a great speech. I consider you as a great speaker. I think the years you have spent in Toastmaster practicing, making incremental improvement actually shows when you talk, when you give a speech. And I always look forward to it. Your comfort level with the audience, your ability to craft the speech, build stories in it, to get the message across as clear as possible is incredible. I think those are the key strength you have. And your voice, I really like your voice. You have a very deep baritone voice. If you use a little bit of more vocal variety, I think that is something that you can tremendously benefit from. What I really liked about your speech is you built in stories. You try to start with saying, it mirrors your personality, your communication style. You talked about your communication style, which is direct. And then you gave us your wife's example that if you're communicating in that style with your wife, that's not going to go down very well. And that really everyone can relate to, right? So it's your ability to bring us in with examples like that, which I really liked. And then you talked about different styles of communication that exist and how you could change your communication style based on the transitions in your life, based on the circumstances and how it evolves. Right? You talked about how there was a change in your career and you moved from, being an engineer, technical person to a more, into a business development role, and that kind of motivated you to change your communication style based on some feedback. Now, all of that is good. We got that. What I think you could have done better is to clarify the takeaway of this, right? At the end of it, when you're concluding it, after telling those stories and all that, every communication has a goal. The goal should, you need to know the audience that you're communicating with. So if your goal is to influence someone and the audience is your wife, your communication is going to be very different than, if you're talking to a subordinate and giving feedback, right? Your goal is to give feedback. So obviously in certain situations, some communication style works better than other. And I think that was the key theme of this speech. And that I think should have been, in the conclusion, you could have, ended up better with a more clear takeaway for the audience. One thing, if you really want to challenge yourself, I would suggest is losing your notes. You're a fantastic speaker, and I have seen you speaking without notes. You do amazingly well, right? And I think at this stage, you could just do away with that, just get some bullet points in your head, maybe in a piece of paper, and just talk. And I think, that'll be probably, the next step for you. So that's about the speech today. Thank you for the speech. I really enjoyed it. General
Thank you, Raj. Appreciate all of the evaluators.